Hello, everybody. Looks like I have two in the room. I'm sorry I'm running a minute late. I had to get my, my coffee. Got my rabbit. Got my pretty Easter colors on. Yeah, Easter is my favorite holiday. I'm sorry I didn't come on yesterday. I was just, the night before, I had a pancreatic attack. I had ate some spaghetti, which usually doesn't set me off. Got a really upset stomach and my pancreas started acting up. I decided to lay down and take a nap. That was about 2:00. And I woke up about 9 in the evening, and then every 3 hours after that. And I was having a series of bizarre dreams, which followed into the next night. I did get sleep, but I'm having these like massively chaotic dreams. Chaos. And one, I personally don't handle chaos well. I don't function in chaos. Chaos is paralyzing to me. When the house is chaotic, when my energy is chaotic, it's just all very paralyzing. Hi, Dean. He's hearing this again because I was talking about him to him this morning. I haven't reached out to Brenda. She sent me an Easter greeting, and I was like, the chaos and the muckery of it all. And I'm trying to get people clicked on here. Dean, are you working on your school stuff, or you want to join me? Let me know. I'm doing oracles. Anyways, after I talked to Brenda, I'm still getting downloads from my guides and about all this chaos. And I'm like, wow, should I talk about it? Or should I just ignore it? And they said, no, I should talk about it because the message they wanted me to give everybody on these chaos streams is, one, I'm not the only one that doesn't do well with chaos. Your camera's not working, so you need to get a new one, dear. Doesn't your computer have a built-in camera? Mine does. I'm using my school grade laptop. Anyways, I get it, Dean. No problem. Yeah, pitch in and help if you throw cards in the background or just channel in the background. Well, I don't know if Gene channels like that. I do. I have this open-ended, nonstop communication with my guides. I was just watching Sterling. I thought it was sort of funny because he mentioned that people that I've worked with and know me know that I call myself an open channel. That doesn't mean the YouTube channel is, I can't control what I'm receiving and not receiving. I can't just turn it off as much as I would like to. I can work at trying to ignore it, but when my guides have something to say, they get pretty darn insistent. Those of you that follow Susan Lynn, her guides will do the same thing to her, throw a temper tantrum in the background until you finally talk about it. And like Susan Lynn, I don't always agree 100% with my guides, but they're always right. They never have led me wrong. So arguing with them is really not relevant because they're not going to let up and they're going to tell me I'm wrong. And, God forbid I'm wrong about anything. No, anybody that knows me will know that is a funny joke because It's a running joke in my family. People complain to my mom, "Your daughter's a know-it-all," and she'll go, "Yeah, but, 99% of the time, she's right. Look it up," and so it's become a big joke in our family of Kathy the know-it-all, chatty Kathy, whatever. Anyways, the message from my guides about this chaos is we are functioning under an administration that is functioning under a man that has severe dementia that is literally dying before our eyes. And the one thing he has had as a constant in his life is his ability to create chaos. Chaos is how he functions, how he functions in business, how he distracts. He's done it all his life. The chaos of a temper tantrum, the chaos of it's a form of manipulation for him. Me, I'm adding people as I see you pop in. So okay, I may have clicked a couple on twice. I think I'm getting you all. And like I said, I don't function well in chaos. It's I'm a bit OCD. I'm definitely ADHD. I'm extremely dyslexic. So with those things in my life plan that I've dealt with all my life, I tend to have a tendency to try to be a little bit of a perfectionist when I do things. I jump in too far. Dean laughs at me because I'll start deep diving into something and I end up on the other end of a rabbit hole that had nothing to do with what I started with, but I dive all the way through. And it is sort of funny because I know a lot about a lot of stuff that's not even necessary to know about, especially if it's related to science, related to industry, related to sociology, related to the big picture of things. Yeah, I go a little nutty, and I lecture Dean about it. So he's my victim of educational influence. He's an educator too. That's sort of funny. Anyways, and Dean's laughing. I can hear him laughing in my head. Yeah, victim, right, Dean? Victim. Anyways, one of the things that my guides wanted me to say about this is as this chaos, this war is going to end soon. I mean, like maybe as soon as a couple of weeks, Trump's going to pull out. He's going to back out. He's trying to figure out a way to back out and still pretend like he won something. We don't care about winners or losers. We're all losing right now. We're losing because he's acting in chaos. He is taking it upon himself to decide that he's going to have a war and he's going to declare some kind of great victory and rah, 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 more power to him. He wants to come out looking like he's powerful and strong. We all know he's weak, and there is nothing powerful about killing people. I'm sorry, but causing the death of thousands of people and act like you're the winner. And I like the latest. He went in and they rescued the pilot that was stranded. That they have been rescued. He, I guess, was up in the middle of the night going, "We did it. We got him. We rescued him." He had nothing to do with the personnel in our army, in our military went and rescued a fellow soldier. They did it. Except and Trump had nothing to do about it. A man went down, they went in, risked their lives to rescue this person because it is that important. It had nothing to do with Trump. Trump caused the problem to begin with. We shouldn't have been there, as far as I'm concerned. It's the chaos picture. I think reporters have nailed it. This is to cause chaos and distraction from everything else legally going on wrong with his life. Epstein, photos, more leaks, finding bodies in at that ranch, Zorro Ranch, things like that they're trying to keep out of the press. Things keep leaking out. Of course, Trump has no control over anything, including his health. It's just a bunch of chaos, 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 chaos. I don't function well in chaos, as I said. I think 99.9% of us don't function in chaos. But I keep seeing that once we get out of that war and pull back, I do see the United States getting hit. I don't like to report things like that. It is not going to be the Pacific coastline that gets it. It is going to be Eastern. It is going to be two very connected targets to Trump. I don't doubt that they don't try to hit the Capitol and Mar-a-Lago. So if you live in those areas, go on a vacation. Get out of those areas, rent someplace across the border, something. Try not to be in those areas. I don't know when that's going to happen, but I do think that there will be attempts to target specifically Trump. They're not targeting Americans. I don't think Iran is even blaming Americans, us as a population, for this. They realize that we are under the leaderships of the most bizarre, narcissistic man ever born to this earth, or amongst them, and he's out of control. Our government is making the determination to keep him in place, even though they should be getting him out of place. And we as the people really don't have a lot of control over that. We can keep crying out, impeach him, remove him, Amendment 25. He will eventually leave office. I don't think he's going to leave on those terms. I think he will be amended 25, but I think it's going to happen. And I always see the same image. He is making a public speech. He collapses on stage in a medical emergency. He is not going to die, so quit. Don't even put the prayer energy there. Iran. Oh yeah. I see glitches every time I see AIs. Even the best of them have glitches. I see patterns, so I'm one of those. I can do puzzles, and it's an OCD thing. I think I see a lot of patterns, and AI does not work in my head. I see all the little glitches that are happening in the background, and repetitive motions, repetitive speech, or the mouth isn't functioning with the voice, or the voice is totally off, or the mispronunciation of words, like me. I can't pronounce words properly, etc. I just see those things and it drives me totally crazy. Yeah, it's sort of cartoonish, exactly, Warrior Girl. I'm so glad to see you here, Warrior Girl. It's been a while. Maybe we can catch up sometime. Go take a walk and give me a call. Okay. We need to get out in nature and get grounded anyways. We all do. But everything he does is a form of distraction. He's functioned his whole life in distraction, from his ridiculous infantile temper tantrums to his getting up in the morning and changing his own diapers, which I doubt happens, but not that he wears the diapers, that he changes them himself. The man's a train wreck walking, but I do see him collapsing on stage. He will not be able to be escorted off by his handlers. They're going to have to get a gurney and wheel him off. Within a week to 2 weeks from the time that happens, the AI productions will start where they watch old footage of him walking in and sitting down, and then he gives this no press actually present little speech and he signs a document, whatever. It's all AI. It's going to be all AI at that point in time. Of course, his cabinet, who are made up of Project 2025, are churning out the documents, the new things for him to sign off on. It's just going to be a big show, so to speak. At some point, J.D. Vance will come on as acting president. They're going to have no choice. They can't keep it hidden for months doing the AI stuff and him actually not being physically seen by people. That'll leak like a sieve out of the White House. J.D. Vance, I see, is going very rogue to president's plans. I don't see J.D. Vance as a leader. He may step up and do some change of plans as a president, try to get us back on a better track. I'm holding my breath on that one. I don't know, but I don't see him in office more than a few months. I don't even see him actually putting in a VP per se. Hey, Brenda, I'm rattling on about my chaos dreams that I was talking to you about this morning. I think we're going to go through a process, and I'm with Libby on the panel government coming in. I think they've already enacted people to step into those roles. There is not going to be one leader that's going to say, I'm taking over now. It's going to be a panel of generals, past presidents, and past VPs. It's going to be like a group of 8 to 10 people working in conjunction with specialties across the board militarily as well as politically. And they will be focused on doing corrections to all the chaos that's been created. It's going to be a slow start. They're not going to go in and wipe out laws and hand everybody money and things like that. It'd be great. They're trying to get the correct things in place, reestablish health care, things like that will be part of the things they will be focusing on, taking care of the people's needs that have been destroyed. There's a lot of embezzled money coming out of our Treasury Department. I do not believe they've even begun to hit the tip of that iceberg on how much money has been funneled out into the coffers of the Trump family and associated groups that have been working with him and is so heavily supportive of him. That's why they're not ousting him as fast as they'd like to. People are profiting from that. And it's not you and I. You and I are going to pay the price. Things are going to continue to get worse financially for us. Gas prices, food shortages, things like that. I cannot overemphasize. I really want to emphasize the fact that don't go panic shopping. I overdid it this month. I am totally in regret of overspending. But I normally quarterly do. It's just my how I function in my household. I grew up in a Mormon area. I'm not Mormon, but one of the things they do is they keep about a year's food supply. I've never kept that much, but quarterly I restock my cupboards to a certain level of function. I usually have enough food in the house to last 3 to 6 months, and I haven't done any of that kind of resupplying in 6 months. So this month I was picking up a lot of things I'm out of because I don't normally run out of food items. I always have some. And since canned goods were on sale, I did a lot of restocking of canned goods and things like that. Have very little meat in my house. Meat I'm pretty much a vegetarian, but I use I eat a lot of beans and stuff like that. So I use smoked ham hocks and things like that when I make a pot of beans. It puts a lot of protein vitamins into a protein pot of food. And my husband can eat all the meat out of it because I don't eat the pork out of it. I shred it up. I pull them out, I shred them up, and then I put it back in, and then I throw it in his bowl. I just want the flavor. And yeah, I can get a bottle of liquid smoke and put the flavor in myself if I want to, but it tastes good with made that way. Anyways, and I should write down my bean recipe, post it. I'll do that because I have a really phenomenal. I cook with an Instapot. I love my Instapot. I will write down my black bean as my cohorts. You know, it says my beer chili. Yeah, I do. I put beer in my chili. And I use a dark ale when I make it. Really simple recipe. It's phenomenal. I've got a pulled pork I made yesterday. I scrubbed out my Instapot, and I think I got the bottom of it damp in the electronics because when I plugged it in to do my pulled pork, kept on saying the lid's off, and I hadn't even turned it on yet, and the lid was off. So I don't know what that's about. I'm hoping it just got damp and I didn't destroy it because I don't have the 70, $80 that cost to replace it right now. But if somebody wants to send me one, no, I'm sure it'll dry out and work. Usually they just go on the fritz while they're damp. I haven't plugged it in today, but I left it out on the counter and put a towel under it to dry any moisture. Hopefully it's not, I didn't kill it. But anyways, hey Tony, let me grab you and put you on the thing. And hello Brenda, I saw you come in. I didn't say hi. Was that to meet Kelly? I use a camera on my computer. I haven't had any bad luck with it. I do have a camera someplace behind me. I actually had problems using my camera when it glitched a lot. But yeah, if you want to send me one, I can forward it to Dean or send me an email through Messenger, and I'll connect you to his Prime account. If you want to donate one to him, he would really, really appreciate it. He's living on a teacher's salary with a senior in high school. I know what his budget looks like. It's depleted right now, as most of ours are. Logistic. I think that's what I have as a logistic. I don't even know where I've been trying to slowly box up my office. I don't remember seeing it. Maybe in the door. I don't know. Oh, it's sitting on the dresser over there. The dresser I need to move into my bedroom. I need to switch all the stuff that's stored in my bedroom into this room and my dresser back into my bedroom. I haven't finished it. I've been like, lately. Anyways, one of the messages that my guides was telling me about this chaos stuff is once we get out of the war, Trump, of course, is going to refocus ICE back into the United States because, you know, this is all about fear, destruction, and constant chaos to keep covering up everything he's doing, whatever the hell he's doing. So we're going to see ICE target more Democratic type cities. They haven't listed Minneapolis. I hear they're in Vermont now, and I'm like, why Vermont of all places? I always thought of that as like a upper class white society. I don't know. I've never been to Vermont. That's just always my image of Vermont is, you know, ski lodges and maple syrup and, you know, a visitor place that better off people go to visit on vacations, like you know, when I always think of Christmas show, White Christmas, where everybody takes the train and goes see the show, you know, and go skiing in Vermont. And they go up there to collect leaves. Well, I think that's Virginia. See, I'm not East Coast oriented. It's gonna throw me off moving to the East Coast too because I can't even find my way around on the east side of the country. I am Pacific Northwest raised, and I have a natural navigation system for the West Coast. And the whole time I was visiting my daughter, I was turned around backwards. Seriously, I could even find where the sun was rising and setting. Of course, it was very overcast too while I was there, but yeah. Anyways, so it'll be something I have to work out in my head, so I don't get lost. Usually, the first thing I do when I move to a city is drive around and get lost and find my way home without a map. Well, back then I'm gonna have to use GPS to find my way back. Anyways, that chaos is going to be refocused back onto the people to keep that fear and suppression. He would love to eventually set in martial law, keep us locked into our houses, and let ICE go door to door and run amok. The one thing my guides say is, and it's funny because my dog does this, and when I was talking to Dean, I use this as an example, and it's sort of funny because my dog is 200 pounds of girth. He's half Rodeo Ridgeback and half Golden Retriever. He has the Golden Retriever face. He has the girth and body size of the Rodeo Ridgeback, which is like a massive. If you guys probably know massive more than Rodeo Ridgebacks. And when he gets upset, his ridge stands up, and feathers. He has a recessive gene. He's fixed, which is a requirement when the dogs are mixed breeds and they have the recessive gene. It's part of the breeding process. They demand that they get fixed, so they're not tainting the full-bred dogs. Anyways, he goes out there and he's docile as can be. In fact, our neighbors come over, he barks, he muckets, and then they back off because he's big. And I told the neighbor when he came to the garage, he talked him through the fence and all that, doesn't bark at all. But when he came in the garage, he barked. I said, walk over and tell him he's a good dog and say hi, Cody, And he goes, are you kidding? He's going to bite me. And I said, no, he won't. And so he walked over there. He trusted me and walked over there and he says, hi, Cody, why are you barking at me? And Cody sits down. Yeah, totally aggressive. Well, he does this to the cats too. My cats walk out there and he barks and they sort of look at him like, really? They walk over the cage, they meow at him and he whines back at them and then they have a conversation, they move on. But if the cat walks out in the garage and reacts to the bark, he's all in. He's caused chaos. He's got that cat running. He will not let up. He would not ever jump. The cage is only 3.5 feet tall. He sits 3 feet above the cage on his hind legs. I've seen him jump over that cage. If he wants out, he could get out. If he wanted to eat a cat, he could catch the cat. He would just fly over the cage, no problem. He doesn't, though. He just wants the cats to come over and visit him. And Marty, my cat Marty, would walk in there, and Marty is so afraid of him, he can hardly see straight. And Marty and Monte look like twins. They look identical, but he knows them apart. And when Marty would walk in, Marty would instantly freeze, and he would just bark at him, and Marty would jump as high as Cody's height and get the hell out of the garage. Hilarious. It was almost cartoonish. And that's what Trump is. He's a cartoon like that. His bark is worse than his bite. He just wants to cause that fear and chaos and have everybody in an uproar. My guides are saying, don't give him, if you're out there protesting, ICE comes through, just keep walking. If they stop you, stop, be cooperative. Don't put up the fight, because if you do, that's what's going to cause the problems. The resistance is going to be the issue. They want us to resist. They want us to fight back. They want it to turn into a civil war. He wants to create that civil chaos. We have, as a society, been out there marching, holding our interests. I wish I could be out there marching with people. I physically can't do that, but my energy is out there with you. When they're going on, I'm doing protective pairs. I'm putting my energy out there. By resisting or fighting back or getting, you get slapped, you slap them back. That's not the way to go here. That's going to cause more problems, more chaos, and even possibly death. Of course, as we know, they'll kill you just because you're sitting behind the wheel of a car, with no real justification of it. So I would suggest just not interacting at all if you possibly can stay out of the mayhem. If you see eyes coming, you might want to just turn around and go a different route. If you can, don't hit it face on. But that's the only way, by not resisting, not taking up arms ourselves and fighting back like a militia back, is going to keep us safe as a nation. We can continue to protest, to resist in that way, but we don't want to take up arms to do it, because all it's going to do is go crazy, crazy, crazy. I know. I love the areas. I do the aerial maps and all that. I found a house I love. I'll send it to you, Tony. They took a tree out on the lot, and I've already reconstructed the lot to fix it. Because when they pulled the tree out, they had it looks like it had a landslide because of it, but it's an easy repair by putting a retaining wall and stuff. But I really love the house. I sent it to Brenda. I think Brenda really liked the house. I know Dean did. Just got to get my husband motivated to get our house on the market. Sometimes that's easier said than done. Anyways, we're still working on it. Daniel, our neighbor, came and sprayed all the weeds down off the front of the lot where we took the lawn out, and it turned into weeds. So we've got to get out there and get that raked up now and that weed barrier down. And then once I get taxes filed, hopefully there'll be money coming back. I have no idea how I'm going to come out on taxes this year, but I had mailed in prior year taxes because I had not got them filed due to being in the hospital so much the last few years. So one of them got processed out of 4 years of back taxes. I know that sounds horrible, doesn't it? And I studied accounting in college. It was my first major. They owe me money, quite a bit, but I owe a little bit of back taxes during the Obamacare era, because I got hit with Obamacare because of the way my Social Security paid out. And anyways, but it's covered. It's covered on the tax forms. They processed 1 year, and it was like in the middle. It wasn't the one that would pay off the taxes first. So, and then the other 3, within 2 weeks of my mailing them, we had the government shut down, and they never got processed. And now it's been 8 months, 9 months since I mailed them on September 18th. They shut down in October, and they have not been processed. So I'm going to resubmit them all with a cover letter on each year saying these were mailed. Here's a copy of the receipt where I mailed them, because I did document that they were mailed. And I have that receipt still, and I'm going to resubmit them along with the current year's taxes. Oh, what a mess. And I hate doing taxes, and they owe me money, but I still hate doing that. I don't care if I'm getting a refund or not. It's just like pulling teeth to me. So I got to put my adulting on and get my taxes done this week. That's on my to-do list. But my biggest message was, don't let the chaos affect you. Also, don't let it paralyze you. Push through the paralyzation of it if you're like me. I get really paralyzed when And then I can't get anything done because then I start procrastinating everything, and I'm one of the world's best procrastinators. I can give lessons if you need to know how to procrastinate. Suddenly the dishes I hate to do get done. You sent my tax. I could just send you my taxes, Brenda. I'm sure you figure out the U.S. tax system. It's not that difficult. In fact, I'm going to do mine on the computer. All I got to just put the numbers in it. It'll do it for me because my itemized list has gone way down because my health insurance is now covering all those out-of-pocket medical expenses I've been paying over the years to a larger extent. And so I don't know how I'm going to come out with my itemized deductions this year. Hopefully it will help me and not hurt me. But you're doing the same thing. Yeah. We'll call each other and give each other tax advice. Anyways, I'm going to move on. I pulled some cards for myself before I started this reading, and I thought they were sort of interesting. I pulled out of the I never can remember this deck's name. Where's the other bit? Here it is. Soul Truth. Put the cards up there so I can throw the ones I've already pulled. The first one I got is am I getting enough rest to restore my energy and fully show up for life? These weird sleeping patterns I've been having, I go through these cycles of insomnia, and then I go through these cycles of extreme overkill of sleeping. And it's throwing my energy off. My energy has been so off lately too. It's just I'm extremely empathic to energy. I read energy, and there's so much chaos going on that and people's emotion throughout the world right now. I am being stung like a bee with these fluctuations of these strange energies. Those of you that are very sensitive, very empathic and sensitive to energies are probably feeling a lot of that. It's causes sleep disturbances, it causes nervous energy, it causes all kinds of problems. And it impacts my health too. I would hate to admit, but it really does impact my health. So I've got to really make sure I'm listening to my body and resting. And I suggest if you're getting those impacts, do the same. Don't fight when you're tired. Just succumb to it, get that rest, because later on you're not going to get any. And you've got to find some balance someplace. And do grounding meditations. So important, because that will help you reground yourself off that overabundance of energy you're picking up on. Anyways, what this card said to me, it says, are you the asset? This body is a vehicle. Notice how your body is feeling and how much sleep you're getting and what you can do to help your body rest. Mine is to not fight the sleep. When I'm sleepy, go ahead and succumb to it. If not, then I get really bad insomnia because I haven't got the sleep I needed, and then I can't sleep because I'm so exhausted. It's a mad battle. Anyways, it says today is soul action. Take a bath and put some lavender essential oils and then go to bed ridiculously early and give yourself a timeout today. This is why I was not on yesterday. And I take salt baths, and lavender is one of them that I do, but I do several different types of salt baths because it's very grounding, it's very cleansing, wash off all that negative energy, and then I relax better. So that's a great thing. I do practice that on a regular basis. And but give yourself a timeout today. I really needed that because I'm doing much better today. I feel very rested. Notice your body thanking you. It does pay off. Today's mantra is, the more I give myself permission to rest, the more I can contribute. So I am here today because I rested yesterday. It does help. And then the next card I pulled, it said, what risk can I take today? Just not a risk taker either. I'm not a gambler. In fact, I find gambling very boring. It says, be not mistaken. You will have to take a bigger risk than you ever thought possible on this path towards your dreams. I hope this doesn't bite me in the ass. You will have to take the big, scary leap, but but do not fret because your soul has wings. It says today's soul action. What risk can you take to move towards your dreams? Make a decision and do it. No more thinking, only doing. Be brave and courageous, and you'll discover what you are really made of. Normally, when I have chaotic dreams and dreams of what's happening in the future, I don't discuss it. I may discuss it with a handful of people privately, but I don't put it out in public because I don't believe in when I'm seeing things that we should be afraid of feeding that fear, because I don't want people living in that fear energy, because that fear energy draws negativity towards us. So if you want to hear that, I can tell you a couple of very, very accurate readers that scare me because they see what I see and they publish it, which I've chose not to, but Denise Siegel is one of them. She dreams about 2 years out, though. So you have to, and she will pull her 2 years ago dreams that she has blogged and bring them back to your attention. I've seen what she's seen, so I can, well, what scares me is she confirms my visions and the accuracy of them because they're now coming true, and I don't like that. I don't want to be a negative recipient to that negative energy. So I asked my guides to tell me what to tell people to raise themselves up and not live in that fear level. So that's that. Taking, doing that little bits and pieces of shopping so that you have things available. I said to Dean, I said, you know what? Everybody picks up odds and ends. If we get into a food crisis or anything, I've got beans, you've got carrots, somebody else has onions. We pull together as a community, and I start that pot of beans, which I heard a reader say, yeah, you don't want to do dried beans and rice. It takes a lot of water. Not if you're making it for the community, because everybody contributes some water to that pot of beans. And then everybody will put a few vegetables and an onion and this and that. And that pot of beans will feed the neighborhood instead of just my family. I think it's more important to pull our resources together to feed the community than it is to hoard my package of beans just for me. That's my philosophy. If they don't want to participate, fine, go make your own dinner. Us as a community are going to feed each other, and then we all have resources that when the next meal comes around, we can do it again. Nobody goes without that way. That's that partnership, that friendship. What people did back in the old days to survive hard winters, to survive hot summers, to survive famine. They pulled together their resources to take care of each other. And that's what we need to do. That's my big message. And that's the fear. I don't want you to live in the fear of, oh my God, we're going to have food shortages, panic, panic, panic. It's that there's resolutions to stay alive. And we can look positively in a way to do that by pulling our resources together and taking care of each other and trusting each other that we can take care of them. Somebody knocks on my door with a gun in my face, I'm going to hand them my food because they're going to kill me anyways. I mean, and then I get to go to the better place. So I'm not afraid to die. And if you're that desperate to steal food from me and kill me, you got to live with that yourself as you're trying to survive, because you know what? There's somebody down the road that's going to shoot you for the same food. Karma has a funny way about it, you know. So anyways, I don't like to spread negative messages, but be aware of your environment. Take action on what you need to do to protect yourself and your family. And your presence is probably more important than your fighting. So walk the other way, resist having a reactive fight out there. Be protective of yourself so that you're there to protect your family and your community. You know, if we hold arms together as a community, what are they going to do? Shoot us all down? Wow, that's going to be sort of noticeable, don't you think? You know, so I don't know. I don't know. I just don't want to. I don't want to fight in war. I've already been through 4 of them. I remember my past lives. I know what I've been through. I don't want to go through that again. I didn't come on earth this time to be a soldier. Been there, done that. I've been on both sides of the fence. I've been the victim of war. I have been a warrior. So it all balances out at some point in time. I'm on the side of no fighting, stay good, stay calm, take care of yourself and your community. Not into this war. Then I pulled a postcard for myself, which I'm going to share everybody. It says, all your prayers are being heard and mirrored back from you and the unseen realms. Be grateful and praise things before they manifest, and always ask for the highest good. When we plead and beg, that will bring you only more reasons to plead and beg. Instead, offer prayers and sacrifice and sacred gifts, as that treatment to your faith of the higher power. Open up and let spirit move through you and comfort you. Add meditation as always to become empty, so you will be ready to fill it and inspire infamies, peace, understanding, and joy. In this moment, your prayers are being answered for the highest good, and both you and all your life. Sometimes what you pray for is not supposed to happen for you, and your prayers will be answered in surprising ways. At this moment, we are listening intently to your prayers and want you to know that your highest good is our priority. And that's what I pray for, the highest good of all. I could care less if I personally survive. I care more about other people's survival, people being able to continue on. I'm here for a sole purpose of being a messenger, being that conduit, and to contribute my body to science. And those of you that have followed me a long time realize that I have been a nonstop science fair experiment. I've been involved in 5 major research papers and studies with medical problems I'm having. I still have a few more to go. I've already been shown my path, and I'm okay with it. I'm totally okay with it. I have crossed over before. I've had near-death experience. I've gained my abilities, expanded tremendously. I've always had them, but after that, and I was in my late 20s, it just blew up on me. But it's part of my purpose for being here is just sending loving messages and helping guide people and keeping them out of that fear base. Please do stay out of that fear base. I'm doing a lot of religious studies right now. I'm back in all my theology studies and probably driving Brenda crazy because I have to have somebody to talk to about it sometimes, Brenda. Anyways, who also studies a lot of theology. She's a very, very spiritual person, and also blessings to have her as such a good friend and mentor. But yeah, and I'm a Pisces, and we're born with that blessing of faith and that need to seek faith. And yeah, I've had a falling out, which I called my falling out with God, where I didn't understand why I was going through what I was going through. And I put a lot of prayers out there saying, oh, rescue me. Why isn't he rescuing me? When I didn't realize he did, And then when I finally saw the answer, that my prayers were always answered, I just didn't see, I didn't receive it like I perceived I would receive it. And, and then, when my stomach ruptured and all that, I'm praying to God, please, I've had enough. I've gone through enough. Now I am ready. I'm in your hands. Take me now, and my angels are going, oh no, you're not done. It's a weird experience, but it's definitely a renewal of faith. And I'm not here to minister to people. I'm here to say there's nothing wrong with seeking out your faith and trusting in your faith. It is what it is for you. I don't follow any particular religion. I'm a spiritual person. I believe in what feels right to my spirit, what answers true to my spirit. And that's all I ask of other people is, if you're going to a church and you're focused on what's being ministered to you by a one person, is that your faith or is that theirs? And how much of it do you believe and how much of it do you question? Because I think part of our faith is questioning the whys and trying to gain an understanding of what it is we believe in and why we believe in it. I think it's very personal. It's very focused, and our guides are here to help guide us through those messages. So who am I to tell you what to believe? In any means, I am not a minister, and I don't have the answers, and I'm never going to be given all the answers. They're just, I wouldn't even know what to do with that if it was. Anyways, let's go on to readings. Let me get off my soapbox and let me grab. I know Gerald has sent me. I saw his pop up. It always does. Okay. Thank you, Joe, for that. You're first on my list. And you were the first in the room today. So I'm going to really quickly, because I have my screen stop moving. Yeah, Dean's already got his taxes done. I'm not paying somebody to do mine, though. I'm going to do it myself. I have been so exhausted, too. Is it a Pisces thing? You're a Pisces, too. That's crazy. So many Pisces around. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm going to go to my list. I'm going to read off the list. If you're not on the list, let me know. I'll have to switch back over my screens. Who I have on the list now is Trenzone, who is going to be first up for reading. And we're doing, if you do a donation, I'll do a full reading, a 5-card reading plus, and everybody else, we're doing Oracle, 3-card oracles today. And going to be my, okay. I got Trenzone. I'm going to have to scroll through this slow because it's only going to show me one name at a time. I have Masilk. I have Dean. I have Kelly, who says Happy Easter to everybody. I have Kelly on here twice. I'll take your second one off. I have Marby. Brenda. Okay, that's all I have on the list. I'm going to flip back over. If you're in the room and not on the list, please let me know now so I can add you. If not, we got a small room. which is fine. I get more chattering in that way. And yes, I'm back to my chatty Cathy. I'll try to keep it down. But it's my show. I think it comes from I'm home alone. I used to joke when I was a caseworker of the moms that come in who've been entrapped in their homes with toddlers all day, and they finally get to talk to an adult, and they just talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. Well, I'm at home with my toddler, who is an adult, who doesn't talk to me half the time, and he doesn't listen to me when he talks because he'll turn around and ask me the same questions again after I just had a whole conversation with him. So you are my caseworker, so to speak, and I'm talking my head off because I haven't seen people face to face in a while. I should really get out more. I'm pretty much, the older I get, I'm an extremely outgoing person, and I'm a major tomboy, but with age, I've slowed way down and I'm much more at home. I talk to my neighbors. I try not to talk their heads off because they are my neighbors. But yeah, I'm pulling cards for you, Twin Zone. And I cut the decks on Oracle cards. I don't shuffle them out. I just Spirit. Oh, he wants this one. There's a post-it note on it. I just noticed that. Yeah, he wanted that one. It slid to draw my attention. No, that one. Funny. Okay, Gerald. Mr. Midas touch himself. I hope I'll find you well this Easter, Gerald, and I hope you got the same Easter wish I got from Brenda. That was so cute. I just so needed that bunny bouncing in my life this morning. And then while I was watching that, I discovered that my mom's energy flows through my daughter. Now, when I was growing up, my mom and dad divorced when I was 7. And we always went to Bakersfield, where my mom's mom lived. And we'd spend Easter at Grandma's house. And while we were gone, first time we did that, I worried about the Easter Bunny even being able to find me. And Easter was such a good holiday for me. And our church, Nazarene, our church always had a big, huge service for Easter, followed by the best, as Dean put it when we were talking with Dean about it the other day. He says, "Oh, like that movie. What is the movie, Dean? I can't remember the name of the movie now. It's got Weezer and Sally Fields and Shirley MacLaine and he was the one. They did a big Easter thing and it was based in Georgia. And he says, I can't think of the name of the movie. God, I'm drawing a blank. That's because I'm channeling and they scramble, impertinent information. Anyways, a big Easter egg hunt like that. Still Magnolias. Thank you, Dean. I knew you would be there for me. Yeah, that scene of the Easter hunt with the Easter Bunny and the gal going to labor and all that. That kind of Easter celebration. And of course, I wore corrective shoes. So I got my patent shoes and my white gloves and my hat. And those of you born in the 60s remember the whole most beautiful Easter dresses and the ever so important patent shoes, white gloves, the purse, the hat. It was a whole thing. I haven't seen anybody dressed like that since the 70s. But as 70s children, 60s and 70s children, we all did the fancy Easter hats. And sometimes we decorate them with flowers. In some areas, they'd actually make all their hats. Yeah, here. Twin Zone knows what I'm talking about. They even did it there. Okay, I'm going to throw your cards, Twin Zone. It's here. Come on, read. I hear you. I hear you. Get on with it. I knew a pinnacle would show up. What are you doing? Oh, not my problem. Okay, first coming in is the Ace of Cups. Of course, your cups runneth over in abundance. As usual, Spirit and the guides are there for you. Oh, you just showed up. Did you take a little nap there? That's okay. As long as you're here. You can always, if I read for you and you're not in the room, Gerald, you can always catch it on the replay. It should set up the transcripts after a couple hours of being published, and you can just look for your name. I think it's doing transcripts. I have it set to do transcripts. Anyways, going into the energy from the Ace of Cups, that abundance energy that's coming out for you, you get the embodiment of swords. That is that King of Swords. The embodiment's always the Kings. And that is your fighting energy. You're staying in your truth, your knowledge, using that energy, your truth, your knowledge. You're a warrior. You stand up for what you believe in, and you don't easily get pushed off that line. You don't believe in the bullshit. You don't play the games. You follow your own instincts. Right in the center of the reading, the guides are saying, be present, stay in the present moment. So stay in your present moment. Don't let things happen around you without being aware of your surroundings. So stay in your present and live in the present. Okay, you are working on some shadow things right now. We get the moon. These are things from your past that may be coming up, or reminders of what lessons you've learned, and that you can move forward now. These are not things that you need to relive. You've already faced those challenges and you've learned those lessons, and just take that forward and moving in a positive way, because it's followed by, of course, your true self, the embodiment of Pentacles, the King of Pentacles. You have the ability to attract money, wealth, and security around you, and you always do. You're a charitable person. You help those around you that don't demand help, that you feel need help. You use your abilities in a very positive way. That ability to earn, you are very charitable in your success. That's why money always keeps coming towards you. You just, a line of people wanting to do investments for you, you will ignore. They're out to steal your riches. But those of you, your charity always pays you back tenfold. And so you always set that ability in a positive light of helping people around you in any way you can. Charity is not just money. Charity is doing for others and receiving charity back. Still say you need to book that vacation, though. I may want to go places that you don't have to fly, though. I hear airlines are going to be running out of fuel soon. I was warning my buddy Dean, who's planning on going on a cruise this summer. You may want to book your tickets, because you may not be able to afford to buy tickets in a few months. So, if flights are even available, so who knows with the way the economy is going and things are now. I don't know. Okay, the first card I pulled for you was from the postcards from Spirit. Oh, I didn't read the underlying cards. How weird is that? Underlying cards. Oh, the Inspiration of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. Of course, you get the King and Queen. Did you meet that person, that extraordinary woman that you're supposed to be meeting soon? You're going to have to let me know on that one. I've got my thing. Oh, you're on a different channel. Two-time Emmy, huh? No. You enjoy any reader you want to, because we all have messages, and they may be the same, they may be different. You get the Ace of Swords, that standing in your truth I feel like if you haven't met this woman yet, she's going to be an extraordinary person. Maybe not even a love relationship. If it turns into that, hey, what's wrong with that? But it's going to be somebody extraordinary. You don't laugh your ass off. Hey, you deserve love and friendship. But whoever this person is, you're going to be totally delighted with them. And it's going to be a really bonded relationship, a friendship, a love. I don't know. Whatever it creates itself into be, it will be there. And I got a big yes on that too. Also, you got the Spirit of Cups. This is from me and Brenda, of course. Spirit of Cups. We're sending you water. Go with the flow as you're going through life. This is always a Pisces piece of advice. Of course, we move with the flow, as you well know. And that card is not meant to be seen. That is not for you. It was a tower. My guys are going, that's not your card, though. So to stop there, go with the flow. So whatever this person that I keep seeing coming into your life, I think you already know her. I'm not sure you've connected totally with her yet, but she's in your atmosphere. Okay, now we'll go on to the card. Let's see what it says. Be fearless. Yeah, don't fear this woman. We're not to be feared. Okay, it says, dearest you, you're taking yourself and your problems too seriously. Oh, Gerald, never. Maybe fear of the future is weighing on you. We would like you to take a little break from all that, starting with fun. Hello, fun, fun, fun. I can see you dancing in your living room now, Gerald. When you stop fixating on what's been making you heavy-hearted, you'll get a chance to move some magic in your direction. We just need you to let go a little. Spirit needs some room and gets very inspired by your laughter when you're having fun. So, find that woman I keep seeing you with, because she's going to bring that joy, that fun, that inspiration to you, and Spirit's gonna come along for the ride. It says, when was the last time you got really loose, silly, and goofy? You haven't been doing that dancing in your living room like I keep suggesting. Maybe you need, that's funny. I don't read ahead on these cards because I don't read that well. It says maybe you need to go dancing or watch some funny comedies that make you laugh, or call one of your friends that you know that remind you of how ridiculous and delightfully giddy you can be. You'll return refreshed and rewarded and ready to once again see the world as less daunting, and you will be ready to receive in perfect timing the bounties of Spirit has for you. Don't you just love how much we care about you? Doesn't Chicago have a phenomenal comedy circuit? I'm believing they do. They do a lot of comedy shows throughout Chicago. You might want to go catch one. Bring a friend and laugh your ass off, and then go dancing. Anyways, I love you, Gerald. I love your energy and your laughter, because I hear you busting up laughing in the background. Yes, I can hear you. The next card is the full truth. It says, what am I grateful for right now? Okay, here's the question for you, right? Adopt an abundance mindset. I think you already have an abundance mindset. Gratitude is, I'm going to stumble over this word. Gratitude is the antidote. Thank you. Thank you. My guides told me. Antidote to all of our problems. It is impossible to be fearful and grateful at the same time. Gratitude improves our health, opens our heart, and changes our spirit or our state. It changes our spirit too. Because I heard spirit and I saw the word state. Today's soul action. The universal law of attraction says that we attract unto ourselves that in which we are focused. It says, close your eyes and put your hand on your heart and think of 3 things for which you are grateful for today. Notice the abundance growing within you. I like that. And from the Soulful Woman's card, please note she's a redhead. Yeah, I love going back to my red hair. Isn't that look cute? I told you it was going to soften up and become more my color. It's still got a little ways to go. It says appreciation. Appreciation is the good that exists in my how to know expands my awareness to all that is good in the universe. Okay. Appreciating the good that exists in my here and now expands my awareness and all that is good in the universe. Okay, that made sense the second time I read it. Don't know where I made the mistake, but I did. I strive for perfection. I don't always achieve it. But believe me, I'm a quilt maker. You have not seen me make a mistake in a quilt and not taking the whole darn thing out, spending hours fixing it. And then sometimes I go, that mistake is the love that I've kept in the quilt. Yes, you do have comedy clubs. One of these days I might come visit you and we're going to go do the comedy shops. Nothing better than good comedy at. It's just thinking, I put them on and watch them sometimes. I've been so overwhelmed with the news that I have turned the news off and I turn on HGTV. I turn on, I've been studying religion, different aspects of religion. I'm going through the Ethiopian Bible now. I find it very fascinating and I'm doing a comparative of it. And there's a lot of videos online that are great ways to tap into some of that energy and get some narrative perspective from whoever's creating the videos. But it's really interesting, especially if you, we use the King James version of the Bible. I know there's various versions of Bibles, but when you're comparing it verbatim, one against the other, wow. The context in which they change. And then there's a lot of resources online that they go into the detail of the words that were used in the more originating written forms and how they were translated to Greek and Latin and how they were manipulated and changed to more be politically based language, protect the king and screw the people, of control and all that versus the religious intent behind it. And it's really interesting. I'm not going to sit here and try to change people's mind, but if you want to look into it, and I still, one of my favorite classes in college is the sociology of religious studies, and it covers a lot of how religion, the evolution of religious and the change of the sects and the church and the belief systems, and how church was once government. Many ways it still is. The control of the people, the control of we as individuals can't speak directly to the divine. Why not? I never bought that. Of course, when they speak to me, it's hard for me to refuse the fact that I'm hearing what I'm hearing, and there are other people out there that are hearing the same thing. So I don't think that you have to go to church to be told what God thinks. I think God is going to, your angels, your guides are going to be there to put that towards you. Can you have a religious basis and all that and in a line? Sure, why not? We receive our messages the way we are supposed to and what resonates with you, but never question yourself questioning the minister either, and don't ever let somebody tell you, if you don't believe in what I believe in, you don't believe, because there's not truth in that. That's a form of manipulation. And I have a group of people in my family that literally say that to people in my family. Yeah, go back and read your Bible, and that one scripture you use to manipulate to make your point had nothing to do with the story in which you drew it out of, is what I usually find. So anyways, and I do look them up. It's weird. I guess I just need that confirmation that what somebody's trying to manipulate me into, I can verify it for myself. And they look at it as, see, I got you to read the Bible. Whatever. Okay. Let's go on. Nobody cares about my debates with my family members' religious practices. I think we all have them in our family. Okay, why it's not it showing me my list? Okay, what the heck? I hate this when this does this. Okay. There we are. Okay. Silk. I think dancing is involved as a key thing this week. We'll see. As when I pulled the card, the first word I saw was dance. Okay. Live your dreams. Okay. Postcard from Spirit says, Dear you, human beings spend a huge percentage of life asleep, not just in bed, but the kind where you forget you are spiritual in bed. That's a good, okay. Not just in bed, but the kind where you forget you are spiritual. Immorality being taking on a temporary human form. It's not your fault. Everyone suffers from a spiritual amnesia once in a while. And as you develop an identity, an ego, you're beginning to see through the eyes of the small self and have less connection with your soul self. You may not recognize this is going on, but you sure can feel it. We're here to remind you to look through your soul's eyes and see the magic is everywhere. Infinite potential lies in spirit, who is teaming with you to fulfill the contract you made to contribute to the evolution of the whole world. Wake up and remember that all the help you need is orchestrated in the invisible realm. Your mind, in alignment with your divine intelligence, is unstoppable. The world is yours to co-create. You are so loved, and we are all behind you. You are so loved, and we are all behind you. I like that. Seems like that's always where I am. I'm always seeking more knowledge. I think that's part of all of our being here on earth is seeking that knowledge. Thank you for your energy. Thank you back for your energy. I always love reading you, Gerald, because I can feel that energy exchange. Okay. Melissa, when was the last time I danced freely is the question. It's for you to ask. When is the last time you danced freely? Gerald's holding his dance card open. Love you, Gerald. It says dance because it will shift you into a beautiful state, because it will get you out of your head and into your bodies and heart. Because fear lies in the head, along with anxiety, control, guilt, frustration, impatience. It just takes a few minutes of dancing and you'll make that shift. Come on, everybody, crank on the music and join in. And as you know, I haven't looked into it yet, but my husband and I go dancing every Saturday night during the summer because we have live bands at the Marriott Hotel and we enjoy it. Really does shift the energy, and my husband is so much better mood after he has spent the Saturday night kicking up his heels. And he doesn't have to dance with me. I don't care who he dances with, as long as he gets out there and does it. I told him he needs to go turn a stereo on in the garage, park the car in the driveway, and get out there and dance. He's always in a better mood. Okay, back to the card. Because fear lives in the head, along with the anxiety and the guilt, the frustration and the impatience, it's just a few minutes of dancing will make that shift. You will feel the charge of joy and confidence take over, and you will feel your soul remember to live and lead your heart. Dancing is a tool to ground us in the now. It triggers happiness. It is a gateway to freedom, to become free dance. I love that because, you can get out there and move your body any way you want to. Doesn't matter. It just feels good. It's today's soul action. Dance for 3 minutes in to your favorite song. Notice the inward fire grow within you and the feeling you feel being you. Are you a wild, loving force? Express with the dance today. Express it with the dance today. I love that. I also like to watch a lot of dancing videos because, I learn the steps by watching them. And then I get out there and we go dancing and people are like, oh, you can do that? Sure, why not? I'm 60, 62. My body still functions. Well, why not? Why can't I do those little dance steps? It says, surrendering is the card of the soulful woman. Isn't that beautiful card? If you like me, these are some of my favorite colors. I love that. It says, surrendering. I honor the truth. I surrender as it opens me to the gift of the divine grace. I love that. And look, she's got her third eye open. Energy of faith, connection. I like that card. Okay, next up. Oh, Dean Dean, the dancing machine. And by the way, he did go out dancing this week. I think it's hilarious. I was giving him such a bad time about that. He needed it. It helped too, didn't it, Dean? He went out with a group of friends. They let their hair down. They had a good time. They didn't worry about anything else going on in the universe. It's this one, it's this one, it's this one. Let me grab it. Oh, I'm having a hard time. My hands aren't working. The postcard from Spirit, it says, with love, Dean. You have a secret. We have a secret for you. More than you think you know, the less you actually do. So if you're willing to keep an open mind, you will avoid a narrow confines of know-it-all. Yeah, don't step in my shoes. Open up to the unlimited potential you can discover only by the curious optimist. Curiosity allows you to discover new things, see the world from different perspectives, and find awareness to the questions you might not even have known. Oh, they want you to jump down the rabbit hole I live in. Right now, whatever is going on, it's important to know that you are not aware of all the aspects of it. You need to see and to make informed choices. You might be projecting a story that isn't totally true. So moving forward means moving forward, your mantra could be, I don't know, or that's interesting, as you keep your mind and heart open to new experiences and a richer existence overall. All of us over here want you to be all that you can be. We are cheering for you. Can you hear us? Okay. The soul truth. The question is, who can I serve today? It says, in a world lacking soul-to-soul connection, a small, simple act are what we create the biggest and the most lasting impacts. We shift our own pain in and experience into an avalanche of love that we lose ourselves in the service of others. Who do we need? Who needs you today? Today's soul action. Listen to your heart and who needs you. Make one soulful connection today and give solely to spread more love, experience, and for nothing in return. Notice the joy that you feel when you serve others. I think you do this on a daily basis, Dean. I know you've got a great circle of people around you. I love the picture of this card. Infinite self. So it reminds me of some of your artwork too. I don't know why. It says, infinite self. My infinite self dwells in the sweetness of this very moment. Gorgeous, huh? He's laughing. That's his catchphrase, by the way, if you guys didn't know that. Gorgeous. Okay. Next up, I'm almost through this stack of postcards again. It's hard to believe. Blessings to you, Melissa. And I'll probably hear from Dean personally later. Because I'll call him after the show. I think he's working on his schedule too. Next up is, and I can't see the name. Kelly Shockley. Kelly Shockley, I love your energy. Your name reminds me of Linda Shockley, my mentor at work, who taught me everything there is to know about audits. She was a number of persons just like you, exceptionally bright. And I always feel that type of energy off you very much. Soulful woman, it says the unknown. I bow to the infinite intelligence of the cosmos, and my next steps to achieve are revealed. I like that. Going backwards now. The soul truth. What do I resist feeling right now? We have to feel it to heal it. In order to let go of pain, we first have to honor its existence. Emotions are like waves. Some are soft and some are fierce. Some are layered and some will sweep you off your feet. When you allow yourself to feel it all, we can then release what no longer serves us. Today's soul action. Allow yourself to feel this wave. Let it move through you, no matter how long it lasts, and then release it back into the ocean, or in our case, also the universe. Feel it, heal it, enjoy the sweet freedom within your soul. I like that. Unlock your magic is the message from Spirit. Dearest you, going the extra mile to achieve your dreams and putting in some overtime will reap big rewards. Now is the time for you to act, stir up the energy, and put those plans into action. There are many windows of opportunity that open but close quickly when you don't take the risk and go for it. Today, being confident that your hard work will pay off and you will feel that satisfaction, fulfillment of reaching your desired outcome. It might turn out even better than you expect. Isn't that amazing? Remember, however, much work. Remember, however, much work we're willing to put up in will match match tenfold on your end. Everyone over here is rooting for you to win the game of life. So just do it. Loving you so much. Knowing what you do for a living. This is great advice. Yeah. You've got success following you around, Kelly. Just go for it. We see big commissions in your future. Okay, next up. Or is that all? No, it's that two people in the room. Marby. I don't have any cards left in my stack here. I see it. Sanctuary, soulful women. In my inner sanctuary, I connect to peace and inner quietude and comfort. I think it's time to do some meditation and look within yourself. Okay. What expectations do I have that are impossible to meet? The expectations we have are most delusional and impossible to meet. We then experience disappointment in ourselves or within a relationship when they are not met. It is time to dissolve your expectations and replace them with gratitude. So quit expecting so much of yourself and think of the gratitude you have for everything you've achieved so far. I do like that. Well, we set our bars high, sometimes too high to achieve sometimes. Okay, today's soul action, be grateful. You are being summoned to more peace. Peace is home for your soul and accomplished by trust. It comes when you surrender and you focus only on what you can control. If you expect nothing, and are grateful for everything, you will experience extreme fulfillment. I like that. Expect nothing and then be grateful for what you receive despite it all. I do like that. Sometimes we lose base on what we need to be grateful for. We don't always acknowledge what comes to us when we haven't already drawn the plan of what we think we should be achieving. That is so true. With love from Postcards from Spirit, it says, Dearest you, selfless giving in an elixir and selfless giving is an elixir so sweet and life-giving and amazing that it should be customary for everyday living. Right now, generosity is being asked of you. Let go of the debt, release and obligations, or do a solid kindness for someone for nothing other than an experience of the heart. You will be surprised at how quickly and how generous the heart is repaid. You know, it often doesn't happen in an immediate exchange. So temper your expectations. Know that life has an uncanny way of sending miracles seemingly unrelated to your kindness. yet interconnected in magical ways. There are more acts from generosity. The bigger your heart grows, the more love and abundance you will experience. We also know that someone could be entering your life with a generous offer for you. Take it and trust that you are worthy and deserving of it. You have to receive, not just give. We love you so much over here. That is probably one of the hardest things a lot of us, especially us readers, we're so used to giving and giving and giving of ourselves. We're nurturers, we're healers, we're always doing things for other people. And I'm really guilty of saying, when I need people there's no one. And it's really a negative thing to say, but it is something I've experienced pretty often in life. But it's a really bad attitude to carry that, is because I don't do things from my heart for other people expecting to get an exchange of services back. My head never goes there. And when somebody offers me help and assistance, it's really hard for me to be accepting of it. It's like, I don't deserve it, why not? I can tell everybody, accept it, you deserve it. But why can't they do that myself? And sometimes you just have to surrender to, what comes around goes around is a saying we all have said in our life. But when you're charitable and you're giving, it comes back tenfold. You just have to be willing to accept it when it comes to you in a form of charity or in a form of unexpected gifts. Life is crazy that way. And it is so funny because we all in our own ways fight this. And I know Marby is an extremely giving person. She's always helping them. In fact, I've had several readings for her that my guys are going, if you have readings for her, she overtakes care of people to the point that they become enabled, expecting her to carry them rather than doing for themselves. And they've sent her messages of saying no is a complete answer. It is time to help them by making them help themselves. So some of that is going to come back tenfold for you, Marby. When those offers, those gratitudes come towards you, be accepting of them. And yes, you do deserve them because you do so much for so many other people in your life that it's your turn. So I love you all. And Marby, take good care of yourself. Allow it to come in and enjoy it. It's well deserved. Okay, next up, I believe we have 2 left. Love to you too, Marby. Yes, thank you. I hope it's really good too. Oh, Brenda. And of course, Brenda's show has already. I missed your show today. I've been like doing that download with my spirit guides after we talked. It's like flood. And they told me grab my obsidian, which I never did find. But I have all my other stones here. This one is very powerful. I love this. Got my heart chakra going here. I love this stone too. It's heavy, big as a baseball. And I've got some amethyst. And I got my ouch stone. This is some. I dropped it. It snapped. and it was one of my favorite stones, and it said ouch when I dropped it, but it's I can't even think of the name. I'm drawing a blank. It knows what it is. It likes to be put back together. I keep it on my desk pushed together. I've got some beautiful things. I got all kinds of stones all over here. I got a ton of them in this box behind me too. Anyway. For Brenda. Thank you for being such a beautiful, wonderful friend and mentor. And of course, listening to my periodic going crazy. Of course, it's not unusual for Brenda to say hello at 3 a.m. my time, because she knows I'm up. And yesterday I didn't wake up at 3. 3:33 is my normal wake up time. I woke up at 4:44, and I thought, that is so strange. There's a message in that. Oh, you got 2 cards here too. Doubles. Love it. Starting off with the message, the postcards from Spirit, it says, what does it say? Oh, hidden treasures. Okay. It's hard to read the writing. It's brown on yellow. It's like a mustardy yellow, a mustardy color on yellow. Hard contrast color for me. Dearest you, since you're on Earth, you understand how buildings are built. Yes. A good solid foundation, and yet flexible too, in case of an earthquake. Truth be told, you can't offer something sustainable unless it's built with a solid base. Whether it be an idea that takes form one step at a time, or an actual house that needs a structured foundation dug, poured, and built. We want you to remember that because you might need a little encouragement to see this is true in your life at this time. Celebrate the facts that right now you can repair the cracks in the foundation of your life effortlessly, as well as doing a general site check to ensure that your hard work is being well supported. Do this and know that the building of your life on a perfect and sound foundation will allow you to welcome many miracles awaiting to come to visit you. We're so happy for you and so integrated by what you're building. I like that. So true. I think you keep your foundations in check on a regular basis, though. Personally, knowing you're very aware of your surroundings and you keep everything in balance as much as absolutely humanly possible. And you're like me, rely on faith to guide you in the right directions. Okay. You got 2 Soul Truth cards came out. The first one says, where am I in my health goals? Where do I want to be? Maybe this is for me. Why I'm not there, and what will it take for me to feel well? If my body could talk, it would say, what? What would it say, Brenda? Today, soul action. Feed your body what it needs to feel nourished, appreciated, and loved. Make some new exciting goals to take your health to the next level. Okay. Makes me want to cook, doesn't it? You? I've been wanting to make bread. I need to make bread. Okay. Like I need more carbohydrates in my life. Okay. The next one is, what is the most limiting belief keeping you from what you want right now? What story are you telling yourself? When you think about your dreams, what is the first limiting thought that comes to mind? If you are not living if you are not living the life you deserve, it's because a part of you doesn't believe it's possible. I think there's a message trying to get my husband motivated to move. I just need to get up and do all the work, right? And then we'll get it done. Today's soul action. It's time to upgrade. Look at your belief in the eye. Where did it come from? What new beliefs are you ready to adopt in its place? How will you change the results? How will you change your result? Remember, your belief is not the root of the result. Own it, heal it, and upgrade it. Okay. What a neat card. This woman has the most beautiful eyes. And the card is fearless self-love. It says, whenever I choose to love myself, no matter the circumstances surrounding me, I am practicing fearlessness. I love those eyes. God, they're hypnotic. Blessings to you, my dear Brenda. We will talk later. Pretty positive of it. Love you to death, Brenda. Nora came into the room. I take it. I was thinking of you the other day. I hope you're feeling better. I can't answer that question, but I will give him a call because I haven't talked to him in a couple days. Last time I talked to him, though, he did sound a lot better. He's been struggling. I see the 222, 333, 444, 555 all the time. Me too, Brenda. And I keep on, my guides keep on telling me, you need to keep a list. Keep a list of the numbers you see. Also, I keep on seeing the sequence 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I also get it in reverse 4, 3, 2, 1. It's really, really strange, and it's been on a constant. I always wake up. You know how I am. I wake up at odd times, and they're always very sequential numbers. But 333 is my nocturnal wake up time. I've always done it all my life. I always see that number. For some reason, when I wake up, the first thing I do is look at the clock. 333 clicks right to 333. I don't see the 2. I see it pop to the 3 as soon as I look at the clock. Except for this morning, it was 444. So, which, let's these are power numbers. The Trinity has always been, I always have Trinities around me, but that's why the 333. I've got this group of angels around me on a constant. So, and I know 444 has meaning. I probably know what it is, but I can't remember right offhand because I'm channeling meaning 444. See, 444, why the interpret it as a powerful sign of the spiritual protection, encouragement, and the building of a solid foundation. Yes, fours are foundations, right? It often signals that you're in alignment with your purpose, safe and supported by the universe, encouraging you to keep going and to trust in your inner wisdom, which my inner wisdom, I think, is my guide. I'm pretty positive they're my guides. They're the higher purpose of me. The sign of protection is frequently seen as a nudge from the sign of prospective guardian angels in your life. See, told you. A validation of your path. Seeing the numbers often happens during moments of self-doubt, serving as resistance to your current decision, career, relationship, or a relationship. And the stability and grounding, it suggests a time of focus on creating structural, financial, and or personal stabilities and grounding yourself. Relationship affirmation in love, it is interpreted as a sign of dedication, honesty, and you are building a lasting, stable relationship. Synonymous and associated concepts, angel number 444, the most common terms referring to the divine message, guidance, spirit, signs that you are not alone, signs of alignment, meaning that you are in the right place at the right time, and a master builder referring to the numbers focused on laying a strong foundation. Other perspective, biblical interpretations, some sources interpret 444 as representing the world or the creation, while others link specific biblical time frames relating to Christ. Scientific perspective, many seeing the number 444 in the simple case of confirmations of bias and psychological confidence, seeing what you're looking for with no inherent magical meaning. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody? That's funny because I woke up at 4:44 following a horrendous 2 days of dreaming of chaos and resolution for chaos. And that's the number I got instead of my normal 333. So I guess I was meant to talk about that today, very much so. I believe that my guides do guide me in certain directions and they run me down the path I need to go. So anyways, everybody have a blessed Easter, celebrating the resurrection of Christ. If those of you who weren't growing up in a church, didn't know why this is such an important holiday. Anyways, I love you all. I am so glad I made it today, and then I was feeling good enough to read, and then I got to let those messages out that my guide clearly wanted me to talk about today. And I will see you next Saturday. Of course, I will post. For some reason, I can't make it. Hopefully I will stay very in balance and not overwhelmed by some of these crazy dreams and insomnia and sleeping too much and all the weird things that have been happening in my life. I am still healing. The itching on my scars has been gone for a little over a month, has returned about 3 days ago, right before I started getting really exhausted. Is it related? Possibly. My guide just said, I heard a yes. So I got to listen to my body. When my body says it needs rest, I have to listen because I'm just going to spiral if I don't, as we all know. And I have enough health problems as it is. I don't need to create more. So I've got to listen to my body as it goes. I'm going with the flow on that one. But I do love reading, and I so miss everybody when I miss a day of reading. And I feel really guilty too, which I shouldn't, but I do. Anyways, Brenda, you need any help at any time, you know where I'm at. You know how to get a hold of me. Let me know how it's going. If I've done a shout out to you and asked you to get a hold of me, do. I carry my phone with me. I'm attached to it. My lifeline, my insulin pump is tied to my phone. I go nowhere without it. So if you do need to reach me for any reason, I'd be contacted through Messenger. If your name on Facebook Messenger is different than your name on online, if you're not already on my list, you have to do a friend request. Say, "Hey, it's me, Gerald," or whoever, and I'll see your screen name. I'll recognize it, and feel free to contact me at any time. Once that friend request, you can hit that phone button and call me. If I'm awake and functioning, I will not always hear the phone when I'm sleeping. But if I'm up moving around, I'll see it pop up, or I will give you a call if I'm like on another line or something. I'll automatically kick it. But I will call you back. So, anyways, everybody have a beautiful, beautiful weekend. I hope the weather's good for everybody. We are in 86 degrees today. It's too hot for me, but it didn't feel that hot when I was outside earlier. I'm going to go outside and sit in the sun, do a little grounding, and call Dean back. So if I'll just call you and read for you personally. We're good friends and we need to catch up anyways. So I'll give you a call in just a second. Snow Wolf and Dean, I'll call you later this afternoon. Brenda, we'll probably talk in the next day or so. Anyways, I love you all. Have a wonderful holiday and enjoy the week. Look forward to having a wonderful week. So blessings to you all.